had to return to Visay. And he was the only one out of the expedition who was the survivor, and the only reason why he survived was because he fell ill and had to go back. And
do you know what the illness was?
I've never found anything that indicated what it was. It was always just an illness, you know what I mean? And
An illness, some description.
And the weird part is when he finally passed away here recently, within the last 20 years, I'd say 25 years, they put a little plaque on the memorial that they had for the people who died of him next to it, because he said he wanted to be buried with his friends. But the weird part about it is like, that's very suspicious, you know what I mean? That really is very
I don't know, comrades, chef, and all that jazz.
Well, I mean, the fact that he mysteriously fell ill just before everybody in his party.
Well, odds. Again, we don't know what illness. It could have been just simple food poisoning or something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, it was never. I haven't found anything that says what he was actually ill from. I've never been. It just says, every reference I've ever come across said that Yuri just fell ill and he had to return back to Visay or Visay.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, after that, I mean, he was basically spared, you know, from what had happened to his friends, you know, his companions. So that's what right there is one thing. Now, don't get me wrong, he might not have, you know, been a part of anything, you know what I mean? He might not, because apparently he felt so bad that he wanted to be, you know, buried next to him. So maybe that could show a little bit of things, but it does seem a little bit odd, you know what I mean?
I don't know, I can't explain it, so it just, you know, just chance.
No, when the group failed to return, because they were planned to return on February the 12th, that's when the search efforts began, all right? Now, on February the 26th, rescuers located the campsite on the slopes of Kolat Sayako. Sayako. This is another one of those crazy Russian names. So if I'm destroying the name, I apologize, guys. But that's just the way it gotta go. Now, the mountain was mountain's name means death or dead mountain, just so you know. That's what's so strange about this, and it gets even deeper. Like I did a deep dive on this, all right, and there's a lot of strange things that are involved with it. They were trekking to this mountain, okay, and this mountain's name meant dead mountain, all right. And that's according to the local Mansi people. So not only am I going to be talking about the incident itself, but I also want to talk about the Mansi and the Conti, okay? And those are indigenous people of Western Siberia. Now, they basically they inhabit the region that surrounds the Ural Mountains and the Ob River Basin, which is modern day Russia.
Yeah. Northwest. Actually, technically, just on the where Europe stops and Asia starts, somewhere around that sort of. Yeah.
You see, that helps me out too, because these people are very, very interesting. They really are. Now, together, both the Mansi and the Conti are referred to as like the Ob-Ugric peoples, and they're closely related when it comes to their language and cultures. I know there was a big uprising, I believe, with the Conti back during the Cold War, The Soviet Union had forbidden them to worship their pagan beliefs because they were pagans, and there was a big uprise with them. So the indigenous people in that area ended up getting they ended up getting really, really bad reputations. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things were said about them that may have been true, may not have been true, but we can go through that. But I do know that happened, and during the investigation, accusations were made against the Manceys, saying that they could have been involved with it, all right, in murdering this expedition team. So
yeah, but I would imagine a lot of propaganda and for those people that are not deemed suitable for the socialist utopia.
Yeah, well,
but yeah,
I could see where that could be a problem there too, especially in the Soviet Union, because here in the United States people have issues with paganism, you know.
Okay, no, well, it's more ethnic, well, cultural ethnic. I'm just thinking of China and the Uyghur population at this present moment.
Right, exactly.
In a good bit of simile.
And you got to think these people worshipped, or they believed in animism and shamanism, you know what I mean, and basic pagan worship, you know. So they're living up there, and they've actually retained a lot of their traditions over the years. Don't get me wrong. What I have learned is there is a blend of Russian Catholic influence or Protestant influence.
Yeah. Obviously, the whole the Church of the Catholic, Russian Orthodox.
Yeah, but they still blend that into their pagan and shamanistic views. You know what I mean? Like they aren't converted Christians or anything of that nature. It's kind of like a blended in. Kind of like what they did in South America.
I was thinking a few Latin American countries actually.
Yeah. So and it's not really a significant amount either. Like I think they incorporated Mother Mary into their beliefs or some, and stuff like that. Yeah. But it wasn't anything that was really significantly enough to change their beliefs. And these are semi-nomadic people as well. So not only are they practicing paganism and animalism, and stuff like that, but they're also nomadic, somewhat nomadic. They relied on like hunting and fishing. They also herded reindeer, which that's something. That's something right there that stood out to me because there aren't too many cultures that actually do that anymore. You know what I mean?
Isn't it North American? I mean, Canadian or?
I've at one time maybe they did, but like the Eskimos and stuff. But I haven't heard much when it comes to Eskimos herding reindeers.
Well, just because you don't hear it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. But yeah, got to get your food from somewhere.
Well, I mean, it's just it was really a breath of fresh air hearing it. To be honest with you, I mean, it's like you'll hear people talk about horses and stuff like that, and cows and cattle and things, but reindeers, it was interesting when I heard that.
Yeah.
It really is. That to me, that stood out, is all I'm saying. So, I mean, I thought that was cool. And it made me think of Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Especially...
Feast among Santa.
Well, it's weird because like I just finished up doing that stuff with Jaffe, you know what I mean, with that Operation Secret Santa Claus, and you know how anal retentive he is about freaking Santa Claus, you know what I mean? So I started digging in and getting these notes together, and it pops up reindeers, you know, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, Jaffe would love this. So these were the secret elves that collected the reindeers for Santa Claus' sleigh. Ladies and gentlemen, we've found out where the reindeers for Santa Claus come from. They're delivered to him by the Mansi and the Conti of Siberia. What do you think about that, Mark? Do you think that'll work?
Maybe.
Now, with these accusations, okay, that was made against them, it was because of their pagan beliefs. But when you actually get into the research and you start finding out what they were really about,
just not only the pagan beliefs. Remember, compliance to the Soviet Union itself. These people are not good citizens as far as the Soviet Union would be concerned.
Right. Now the Mansi maybe, but the Conti, they were the rebels. They're the ones who rebelled against them. And I mean, this went on for a long time. This is information that most people in the West don't even know anything about, to be honest. Like while the Soviet Union was going on, the Conti were actually fighting against the Soviet Union, the Soviets. You know, I don't think they ever did convert over or comply with the Soviets, and I think that's probably one of the things that contributed to them being, you know, the Manti being accused of it, is because they didn't comply with them. So, I mean, that's just my personal view of it.
Agreed.
You know,
you could say that about religious and racial standards there, but on the whole, yeah, I agree.
You know, and you know, the thing of it is like with the Mansi and the Conti, they had a deep connection. You know what I mean, to the natural world, and if you ever really get into what their beliefs are, you'll find out that it's all over their religious beliefs, you know, or their spiritual beliefs or whatever. That they really had that deep connection to the natural world. And from my personal experience, people who were lunar worshippers were more into peaceful existence. They were more into and when I say lunar worship, that's the people
what we would call the Gaia complex.
Yeah.
The Gaia belief.
Yeah. Right. They were more involved in the feminist aspect of religion than the masculine, which is the sun worshippers. You know, most and the weird part about it is like up in that region there's a lot of sun worshippers. You know, you had a lot of people who did do human sacrifices and stuff of that nature, and that was usually sun worshippers, and lunar worshippers were the opposite. They would sacrifice animals, or they would give offerings of you know, food or coins, you know what I'm saying? But they never did the whole human sacrifice thing.